Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Life in Denver. Bit of a change of scenery, as you guys can tell today. We're actually inside my kitchen, pretty exciting business, but due to the fact that we're actually doing a video for you guys on winter, and it is winter right now and freezing cold, it's about -2, so we decided for once we're going inside for you guys. But with that being said, I want to give you a little insight into what it looks like, winter-wise out here, what you guys can expect, how to prepare, make sure your guys are set up for success. So let's jump into it.
All right, guys, and one of the unique things about being here in Denver, Colorado is winter does tend to start right around Halloween. So unfortunately, a lot of times kids have to go trick-or-treating when it's already started snowing. That's usually the case most years. So do expect, winter, kind of your first snowfall, first, snow flurries to happen in late October during that Halloween kind of time frame. Usually, actually, it always seems to be the day.
So we're a four-season state out here, but what I will say is it turns on a dime. Just like you see intraday, like we'll talk about, hey, it might be, 90 degrees, and then all of a sudden you come outside and it's 40 degrees. Like I was talking about that one time I came out at a sporting event. That happens, month to month as well. So September out here is actually a pretty warm month. It still definitely feels like summer, but then flip of a switch, like we say, fall lasts maybe 3-4 weeks, and then you're jumping into winter. So, even just this winter now, where it was October, like Monique's calling out, I was going to a Halloween party on Halloween, and man, we're getting slammed with snow, and it's like, not a dusting. This is like bad. Like there's a pickup truck in front of me, one of those old Chevy S10s. The back end's fishtailing left and right, and I'm like, God, dude, this guy's going off the road. So like, people just aren't prepared. Sometimes, it's smart, come October, flip those winter tires and just be prepared, because from October all the way, I'd say, until probably the end of March. March is probably our heaviest, snow accumulation month. You just got to be prepared for that, inclement weather that comes out, out of nowhere. I will say though, the other thing too, March is when it should end, but occasionally, the last couple of years, we've been getting a little surprise come like even end of May, as shocking as that is, you get a little flurry here and there. So just something to be cognizant of. We're going to get into, preparing your homes and preparing your cars and just your general day-to-day life. So just something to call out there for you guys as far as the actual time frame to expect winter to exist out here. All right, so something to call out for you guys too. The reason we wanted to cover this video today specifically is it's freezing. It's about -2 out there. So, we try and be troopers for you guys, but we ain't standing outside in -2 degree weather.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no. But what I will say is, it does truly just change in a dime in the sense of this weekend's -2, next weekend's gonna be, 50s and sunny.
Right.
So it's just one of those deals where it's like, yes, you do get those cold days kind of sprinkled in the mix, but overall, if you actually look at, winter throughout here, it usually it tends to be like mid-40s to 50s with a lot of sunny days thrown in there. It's not like the Northeast, it's not like Chicago where you're just getting 6 months of just horrid gray skies, frankly, and it never really goes above the 30s. So yes, it is an extended period of time out here for the winter season, but it's actually not the worst season in the world. Like it's pretty tolerable out here.
Right, and it's something that shouldn't discourage you, because it is something you do get little breaks here and there.
The best winter you're gonna get.
Yeah, exactly. There's great times too where people like to go up to the mountains and go skiing, because even though it's flurrying, it's a little bit warmer. It could be 40 degrees up in the high country, which is what I like to call it. Yes, thank you. You could go to Vail, Breckenridge, and they get fresh powder, and then the sun's showing the next day, the sun's showing the next day. And a lot of people like to go out and have a great time during the weekend. Also within the Denver metro, because we do get those sunny days, you'll see people take their dogs out on walkways and take their dogs out on walks, because the city is pretty good about cleaning up, the snow. They've had years and years of experience of always plowing, cleaning.
The infrastructure is well set up for it.
Right, making sure that all the walkways and all the paths are set for people to go out and enjoy the outdoor lifestyle, because in January you might get a 68, 55 degree weather day. It just really depends. So it's a nice little break if you're feeling, oh, I'm not looking for somewhere to live that's really cold or has a lot of gray skies. Fortunately for us here in Denver, we don't have too many gray skies, which I'm really happy to say, and makes winter very tolerable.
Sunshine,
there you
baby.
go, exactly.
But what I will say is though, one thing to call out, as Monique says it here, it just kind of spurred my memory here. As you're thinking of where you do want to live, just be conscious of the fact that the weather will change. So if you're gonna be east of Denver, out in Aurora, that's gonna have vastly different snowfall than what you're gonna see in like the true mountains, for example. Case in point, we're in the metro today getting maybe 2-3 inches, like not bad, right? It's cold and it's snowing, but the roads are fine to get around and everything. You go out to like Breckenridge, Vail, they both got like, a foot plus of snow last night. So that's awesome if you're going out there to ski and snowboard. It's not so awesome if you got to drive around and, function day to day. So not to say, the mountain towns in the metro are going to be as bad as that, But as you go farther and further west, it is just gonna be heavier snow accumulation. So, be conscious of the vehicle you're coming out here with. My wife is she's biting the bullet. She's gonna have to get a new car this year. I always make fun of her with her Hyundai Sonata, but front wheel drive cars, maybe you can get around with some good tires, but it's just not recommended. You're much better off getting that all-wheel drive vehicle, that four-wheel drive vehicle, as well as being conscious of the clearance, right? Because a lot of these cars may have all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, whatever, but if they're riding real low to the ground, you're plowing with that front end, so it's not doing you any good. True. So honestly, best bang for your buck. Everybody makes fun of them, but Subarus, great choice out here. Very, very affordable all-wheel drive, so. And
they're very popular.
And they ain't sponsor our videos, I'm just throwing it out there, right? So, gotta put that out there for you guys. But the vehicle choice you make will definitely make or break your experience out here, just because you wanna go visit the mountains, right? And you wanna go have fun. That's honestly some of the most enjoyable parts of winter out here is going skiing and snowboarding, going and enjoying those hot springs out, and whether it's Steamboat or Glenwood Springs.
You can even do tubing like me. I don't like to ski or snowboard.
You're gonna tube in the icy river?
No, what is it? Snow tubing, come on.
There you go. No.
Snow tubing down. Thanks, Joe. No, go snow tubing down. They have a lot of different areas in Frisco and different, things for the kids that are young if you do want to take them tubing. So yeah, definitely not into the ice.
Point we're getting at, make sure you're prepared to go enjoy these fun winter activities. Make sure at least somebody in the family has something to get around with. That way you can actually go enjoy it, because yes, winter is cold and everything else, but it's still a fun season. So definitely something you don't want to miss out on at the same time as well.
Right, and Joe is calling out how important it is to pick the right vehicle. It's also important to pick the right area, right? Depending on what
and the right realtor.
There you go.
See?
Exactly. So depending on where you're looking to live, right? If you want to live somewhere where you get a lot of snowfall and you have a lot of greenery, definitely selecting a correct realtor who knows the area can help kind of guide you and select areas that would work for you, right? And just a little friendly reminder, Joe and I are licensed realtors here in the state of Colorado. So if you have any real estate needs, please feel free to contact us with the information that's on the screen.
We'll give you all the tips and tricks you need to know, which also makes me think of the next point I wanted to tackle for you guys is getting your home ready, right? Because the cars are a big thing, of course, but as far as the home out here too, especially if you're coming from somewhere where you're not used to going through the winters. So everyone out here obviously has a sprinkler system in their yard to go, water their lawn and all that good stuff. Something you want to be doing prior to when we get that first October storm. Yeah, I almost missed it this year. I was cutting it real close. The next day it snowed on me. You want to basically blow all those sprinkler lines, make sure you have no water in there, because you can end up cracking your whole sprinkler system, and that's not that cheap to be replacing. So it's something just to be conscious of. Blow out those sprinkler lines, disconnect those hoses, just get your house ready to roll for the winter, the same way you'd flip, winter tires onto a car. So it's something, if you're not from a cold state, you might not be used to, and it's something that, you don't want to have to pay the price and learn that. So again, these are the things we'll obviously remind you guys of, but it's just something to be conscious of if you are moving out here in winter, if you're not used to the winter, getting that car ready, get that home ready, just, some important stuff to be considering. So next thing to call out for you guys is just, obviously the cars and house need to be set up to par, but what's surrounding that house? Trees are a big one too, because again, if you're not used to snow in your local area, when those trees start piling up with snow, it's a recipe for disaster. You want to make sure you're getting all of that cleared off as fast as you can. You don't need tree branches taking out the side of your house. That's not a fun time for anybody. So it's just something to be cognizant of. Stuff like that you maybe aren't used to thinking about, something to warn you guys on.
Right, and some of the snowfall here, sometimes we do get that fluffy, powdery snow, and then sometimes you get that really wet,
thick, that heavy stuff. That's what takes tree branches down.
So that's what really takes tree branches out. And usually, if you are watching the news or reading online, you do get notices, and the weathermen try and be correct as much as they can to let you know they're almost
most overpaid people who are always incorrect. Imagine being that wrong at any other job. You wouldn't be getting that kind of pay. Apologies to all my weathermen, but I gotta say, out here, we'd be told it's a 50-degree day and then it's snowing. So something else to consider, you may want a garage, right? And you may want to be cognizant of the community you're picking too, because all of these things factor into your day-to-day activities when it is wintertime, right? Something that's kind of a secret out here that a lot of other states don't think about is, what direction does your house face? Very much so impacts, your shoveling and your snowblowing experience. I don't even own a snowblower, but I happen to have a south-facing house. If you have a south-facing house, that's gonna catch the most sun of any direction. East and west aren't bad. North is the one that, it's not a deal breaker, but you're gonna end up being in the shade for the most part. You're not catching that sun that melts your driveway, so in turn you're shoveling a lot more. If you're on top of it and it doesn't accumulate that, that wet, icy snow, sure, you're in good shape. But if you're someone who goes to their 9 to 5, comes back and you're completely covered in just damp snow, that's gonna be kind of a pain to get rid of. So the direction of your house, a big factor, as well as, regardless of that, if you're in the right HOA or the right community, a lot of these places actually offer snow removal for you. So that's a really, really nice perk, right? A lot of these people don't consider that, but just something to throw out there for you guys. If you don't feel like shoveling snow or snow blowing, if you're lazy like myself, hop into one of those HOAs that offers snow removal. It's not bad, realistically. We pay under $1,000 a year for the HOA here. I don't shovel anything. So it makes my life 10 times easier. I'll happily pay that bill all day long.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things too that I did want to call out that Joe is mentioning. When you do purchase also a north-facing house and you do see like where you're placed, and depending on where you're living too, certain areas of the house will be a lot colder than others. So definitely impacts kind of HVAC a little bit, especially in new builds. So something to definitely take into account as well, because even though you're not getting that snow melt on your driveway, you may have some implications inside with like HVAC and making sure your temperature is basically regulated throughout your house. So that's definitely another thing that's important. And another thing that I will call out that some of the clients have, told me about that they were kind of shocked about is when we are cleaning our roads here in Colorado, sometimes they do put down sand and sometimes they do put down like that salt that can basically damage the paint on your vehicles. And so it's very important for you to,
At least another point I'm thinking about for this.
exactly. It's very important for you to like take the car to get washed after
That's
you
it.
have, there you go, take your
Yep.
car to get washed right after, because if not, that can chip away your paint and create rust and things like that. So something you may not consider if you're moving here from like California or Florida or those states that don't see any snow. Definitely something you want to consider, signing up for a monthly car wash, get that car washed. There we go, take that car, get it washed, make sure you're upkeeping on your Subaru. That's helping you get around everywhere. So just another point that I wanted to
No, it's a great call out, it really is, because a lot of places like you don't get that just gunk layer, I guess you could call it, on top of your car, because you're not dealing with all the salt and stuff they put down on the roads. Out here, not only does your car just kind of get covered in all that, and it's a great idea to be washing it all the time, but what happens is, since the weather's always changing, you have kind of all that accumulation, and then you get a sunny day rather, after a snowy day, and that sun just blasting your dirty windshield. It's like blinding, you can't see anything. So it's definitely something very, very much worth it. Spend the 20-25 bucks a month, get your membership to your car wash. It'll be the best investment you ever make, frankly, just because having that clean windshield, hey, that could be an emergency situation. You're whipping over, you gotta clean that thing off, or you're running out of like the little squirt in your windshield. That's happened to me before. Bad times, very bad times when that sun comes out. Yes. Yes.
Washer fluid.
Washer fluid, there it is. But just all things that, either we've experienced, clients have experienced, friends and family have told us about, coming out here. It can be, just surprising for people. So all these little tips and tricks we like to share with you guys.
Guys, and as much as Joe and I love making these videos for you, we would love to help with any real estate needs you may have. Please contact us at the information on your screen, call, text, email, whatever the case may be. We are the ones answering those inquiries. So look forward to talking to you guys on the next one.
Any random questions you guys got, winter, real estate, life, we'd love to hear from you. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.